Hey everybody, it's Ben with Red Barn here today to talk about the Ford F450. We haven't done a YouTube video in a long time, but I wanted to do a walkthrough on this truck. I got it a few months ago, put probably more than a few months ago. I've put 14,000 miles on this truck. I've driven it to Oklahoma and back, Georgia and back, uh, Tennessee and back. And so I've got quite a few miles on this. And as everybody knows, I don't like doing reviews on things until I've really used them for a while, and I'd say 14,000 miles is enough to do a review on this truck. One of the things that drives me crazy is somebody that does a review on a vehicle that's got like 10 miles. They've driven it 10 miles. They're like every car, even a Honda's nice at 10 miles. So we got 14,000 miles in on this F450 Super Duty dually high output diesel truck. And just to explain why I went up to this with what we do, and why it was necessary, but then also all the high points of this truck and why I love it and why it was a smart decision to get this truck, go through it all. So let's jump into the Ford F450 Lariat. First of all, to start out with this truck, we're going to do the interior. I ordered this from Ford. I went through Loudin Ford here in Minerva. They made the process really, really easy for me. One of the reasons that I ordered instead of buying off the lot is because I wanted very specific things in this truck that either the trucks that on the lot didn't have or had too much stuff. So if you find yourself going looking for a vehicle and you can't find what you want specifically, Ford made it really easy. Specifically, Loudon Ford made it really, really easy. I went in there, told them what I wanted. There was no pressure. We went through the build sheet together, and I got to pick out exactly what I wanted in this truck. And one of those things that I really wanted, I've wanted since I was a little kid, was tan interior. Too often, you're going and looking at black trucks because that's the only good color for a truck. You're going and looking at black trucks and they have black interior. I wanted the tan interior. People said I was crazy, but you know what? When you're working with wood all day and you're covered in sawdust, this tan covers up that sawdust real well. So that's one of the reasons why I went with it. Plus, I like the tan in the black vehicle. So a couple of the really neat things that I didn't know I was getting when I ordered the Lariat was I have heated and cooled seats. Ford has the cooled seats. They're super, super comfy and convenient. Really like these, especially in the hot months, especially when I was in Georgia. Holy Lord, the cooled seats came in handy when I was in Georgia. But on those long drives, when I drove out to Oklahoma, the cooled seats really made the drive comfortable. The Lariat, I think the Lariat seats are great. I know a lot of people say the Platinum seats are really fantastic. But that was another one of the reasons why I got this truck, was because I could only find Platinums on the lots, and I wanted a Lariat. It was either all they had was XLs or Platinums. I couldn't find a Lariat on a lot, so that's one of the reasons why I ordered. And the Lariat interior was a big thing for me because we do make so many deliveries. We do such long runs. The higher quality interior was one of the things I had to have, and so that's one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons why we ordered. On top of that, we have the full sunroof. That really makes the drive comfortable. It's super, super nice. Plus, nobody knows this, but me and almost all my kids get motion sickness really bad, and that glass ceiling helps a lot keeping people from puking in my truck. So that was something I definitely wanted to have, and I had to order it to be able to get that with the Lariat package. A couple of the other high points on the interior. Um, I'm not a small person, and this F450, I can fully extend my legs. I'm 6'3". I can fully extend my legs in the cab. The cab is so roomy, so spacious, all sorts of great stuff in here, from multiple cup holders. And you can see I drive this truck all the time. There's garbage in here. There's my coach's whistle. There's my badge plugs, multiple C plugs, multiple ways to charge whatever devices you have in here. They have a great wireless charger here. That's really convenient. Um, the cup holders are great. They hold it in. If you have 4 cups, you can kick it over. You can do 4. But why do you need 4 cups when you're driving? Seriously. They have security features, even though it's a key fob, which I am not a fan of at all. Key fobs suck. Okay. Actual keys for a vehicle would be a huge positive. If there's a negative I have about the truck, it's this push button start. No, thank you. Somebody told me that it's the future. Push button starts are they're so technologically advanced. Not true. My 1944 Farmall H has a push button start. Keys are the future, so people can't steal your vehicle. I know I sound like an old man, but the fob sucks. I hate the key fob because for my security stuff, I have to keep a separate key to lock the truck. The key, the locking console. Thank you. My daughter just gave me the answer. The locking console, I have to carry a separate key to lock the console. So what's the point of the fob? Anyways, really great layout outside of that. This truck has 4-wheel drive. It came with all sorts of bells and whistles. Let's go ahead and start up the truck. The push button. I might gag. I did get and we'll show the motor here in a second. Another one of the things that I had to order to get is the high output diesel 6.7 power stroke. Every time I would find a truck on the lot, it was the regular diesel. I need the extra horsepower and torque for what I do. You'll see that when we show the bed. I got it with the factory installed hitch. Another thing I had to order because they never come with a factory installed hitch. So it's all completely set up. There's so many different features here. I'm not going to bore you with all the different features, but the trailering package on this thing is amazing. The cameras are amazing. It came stock. The F450 came stock with multiple cameras, a camera for the gooseneck hitch and a camera for the regular trailer hitch, plus a 360 camera, plus when I turn, I get cameras of the views of my mirrors. Like I wouldn't be paying attention to my mirrors. I still can't figure that one out, Ford. Why would you put my camera view from my mirror here if I'm looking here? It doesn't make sense. So that's one I'm not a huge fan of. It's kind of dumb, but it's a neat feature. Initially, when you first turn, you're like, "Oh wow, I can see that," but I can see it here too. So it must be for people that don't know how to use their mirrors, I would imagine. But if you're driving a truck this big, you better know how to use your mirrors. This also came with the power telescoping mirrors. You hit the button, they come in and out. You probably can't see that in the video, but it's pretty slick. Also, the power folding mirrors, which comes in pretty handy. But that's another one of those ones. This is a dually. If I fold my mirrors in, but my duals stick out just as far as my mirrors. So, like, if I'm in a space where I need to fold in my mirrors, then my duals don't fit. So I can't get in the space in the first place. The things that I think of when I'm doing woodworking. Anyways, power windows, power locks, power mirrors, all that stuff's cool. I do have they have a neat feature here where it's a power tailgate. So I hit this button and the tailgate opens. We'll show you a video of it in a second. But power tailgate, all sorts of lights, all the regular controls on the steering wheel. That's all stuff. Pretty much every vehicle has that stuff, so it's nothing crazy. If this was 1982, everybody would be wild. But like once again, you can get this on a Kia. as far as that stuff goes. So it's pretty standard. All sorts of great storage in here. Even though you got this middle console, you still have this big, deep thing. You have multiples up front here. All the regular stuff. Nice big area. The seats are huge. The back seat's huge. We'll do a quick little video of the back seat, although there's flies in here. But overall, cab's really, really spacious. Much larger than the F250. Somebody would tell me that's crazy, but the cab is bigger than the F250. One of the other reasons that I did a 450 versus a 350 is the towing capacity, is the fact that so many of these features come standard on the F450, where they're added features on the F350, and it costs more money to do an F350 with a smaller motor, smaller towing capacity, and getting all this stuff, where the F450, it all comes standard, and I get all the towing capabilities, plus more horsepower, plus all these towing features are standard. That's another reason why I went with the F450. So that's the interior. Let's show you the exterior and go through the rest of the truck. But the important thing to note about this is I have put on 14,000 miles. I've driven all the way to Oklahoma City and back, and body never hurt. This truck runs smooth as silk. If it bounces around, it's because of the roads. I heard somebody say that the front end floats on this thing. I have not experienced that. And I can tell you that it tows like it was designed to tow. If you are working and towing a lot with your truck, this is the truck you need. Because when trailers are on here, I have a 26-foot gooseneck and a 20-foot enclosed trailer, and it feels like there's nothing on. This truck just goes. Fully loaded, full capacity, and no problems at all. Where that F250 and even my F350, my Tremor that I had a while back, the front ends of those would pick up and I'd be floating. Especially the F250, it would float. The front wheels would barely touch. This thing squats down and just goes. It's fantastic. It was made for doing this. So if you tow on a regular basis, I highly recommend the F450, because this truck is built to go. It's built to work. So like I said, when we were in a cab, it does have a power tailgate. So you hit that twice. Back here, it opens up, or it has a button inside the cab to put that down. Like I said, I ordered this, and so a lot of these features come standard, but I did have to put in the gooseneck package. That was just, I think it was only like $550 to get that in there, and it has a better capacity than anything that I could find aftermarket. So that's why I had them do the factory install. It comes with the factory installed lights. It has a button over here, turns the bed lights on. You can barely see them because it's daylight out, but that button will turn on and off the bed lights. It did have I had a bed liner put in it. I got that done locally, Phantom Auto Works. I always get all my bed liners done there. Shout out to those guys. Outside of that, the bed is pretty standard. It does, with F450, you have to do the 8-foot bed, which initially, if you're not used to an 8-foot bed, if you're used to driving a 6.5, it feels a little funny, but once you get used to it, it's fine. It's really great when I go to Hartville Hardware, because now I can get a full sheet of plywood in here and don't have to do dumb, unsafe stuff to get the lumber back in. So that's nice. It also, all the Ford pickup trucks come with a measuring device. Also known as a ruler, on the back of the truck. So it has inches and whatever this centimeter crap is. This is America. Anyways, it has that here if you're trying to measure some, I don't know, big fish, or if you're complete lush and don't carry a tape measure with you in your truck. Who doesn't carry a tape measure in their truck? Anyways, really convenient. I was surprised by how tall it sits. It actually sits taller than F450 or the F250 rather. I had an F250. This sits a couple inches taller than that even, so that was surprising. Um, I've had multiple people tell me they really dislike the body shape of the Dodge Ram and don't like how the whole fender like rolls, and they like the body shape of the Ford F450 and the 350. That's personal preference. I do like how it has the marker lights here. I'm sure that's standard on all trucks, but it makes it real nice for like running down tunnels. We were just on our way down to Georgia, and you hit those tunnels, and those marker lights come in handy, making sure you don't hit the walls. Um, it does come with the side step. That was the other thing that they have on this one. I made sure I didn't want was a lot of the Fords come with the integrated step in the back of this. And in my personal experience, that thing breaks really quick. So I did not want that. I went with the regular tailgate. I find too many moving pieces and parts, like the Sierras, the GMC Sierras have that folding out tailgate with multiple steps in it and stuff. That's just more crap to break. So that's another reason why I went with this truck, because it has a simple tailgate and has the steps, has a handle. It's really easy to get in and out of. You don't need that extra stuff. Has the side step for getting in and out. Pretty convenient if you want to get up, tie anything down. It came standard with the side rails. I know a lot of people don't like those. I really don't care. That's something that's not important to me. And overall, the truck looks really, really sharp, really, really nice. It's big, it's boxy, it's beefy, and if you're liking big trucks, the F450 is fantastic as far as its looks, running down the road, running away from you, which is going to do with this giant motor. It will run away from you. I unfortunately already got a speeding ticket in it, so you do have to watch out with the high output. It's got lots and lots and lots of power. So, which I know is a problem that you GMC owners and you Dodge owners don't have. But if you do decide to go to this truck, be careful. It's not like driving your mouse-driven vehicles. This one actually has some juice. So, that being said, let's pop the hood. You can take a look at the motor, and I won't talk about the motor because all I know is the 6.7 high output. Anything else, all you motor guys, have fun, whatever. I don't care. It pulls really hard. And if somebody wants to say I don't have a tape measure in my truck, I actually have two. All right, so a couple things. The front end's really nice and big. I did the off-road package, so it's got that little fin there on the bottom to protect when you're going off-road, because I do that all the time. I'm always out there with all the Jeep people, taking it through mud holes. I haven't gotten all my ducks on the dash yet, which if somebody can tell me what the hell that's supposed to mean, put it in the comments, because from my perspective, it's just dumb. Okay? So hopefully that rage baits some of you Jeep people. All right. Big freaking diesel motor. 6.7 high output power stroke. Needed it for the power, needed it for the torque. The F250, I had the 7.3 liter gas in the F250. It was a dog on fuel, and this thing pulls harder, has better torque, and gets better fuel mileage. Gas engines can't compare to the diesels. I'm sorry. If you're telling, they just can't. Another reason why I ordered this truck the way I ordered it is I didn't want one of those dumbass lit up insignias on the front. Whoever came up with that idea, it's not Tron. Okay? Ford F450. It does have the camera up front, which comes in really handy. You can turn that on as you're pulling up to something so you don't hit a barrier. But From the outside, great looking truck, giant motor, really happy with the way it drives. I have zero complaints. It is literally my dream vehicle. I've been wanting this truck since I started getting into the woodworking and harvesting our own trees and doing all that stuff. Constantly putting myself in semi-dangerous situations, towing too much, or say, for instance, blowing up transmissions because I didn't have a transmission big enough for what we were doing. And this truck has met all expectations and blown them out of the water. Like I said, my only complaints is the push button start. It's the dumbest thing in the world. It really is. Whoever came up with that, somebody needs to kick them in the nuts or something because it's terrible. It's not advancement. Now instead of losing the keys, I lose a key fob. And I have to carry separate keys to get into security areas in the truck. It's extra. It's not less. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, the F450, absolutely fantastic. Loudin Motor Ford took great care of me. We got it ordered. It came in like 6 weeks. It was built, and it's been running great. Like I said, 14,000 miles. This isn't a review of a vehicle that has 10 miles on it. I put 14,000 miles on this thing, and it is absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend the Ford F450. I was very happy with my 350 as well. The power strokes are great. I'm sure the gas trucks are fine. It's just if you're doing any heavy towing or if you're really doing any hard work at all or making long drives, the diesel are worth the cost. The only thing I haven't done to this is obviously I haven't deleted it yet because it's all still under warranty. Um, and once the warranties wear off, we'll get it deleted. But truck runs great, absolutely fantastic. If anybody has any comments, feel free to comment away. But you're never going to convince me that a Dodge Ram runs better than this thing or pulls harder than this thing. And I know for sure the GMC does not. I had a GMC 350 or 3500 Duramax, and that thing was, excuse my language, a piece of shit. Ford stands behind their motors. Ford stands behind their transmissions. GMC can't say the same for them. I had multiple GM products, and these Fords surpass them by a long shot. So, hope everybody enjoyed my short walkthrough on the Ford F450 Lariat Red Barn Home Edition. And have a good day. Cut to the montage.